Good morning friends. Topic for today's session is factorial. This topic is a part of number system. This is very important for CAT point of view as well as e-litmus examinations where number of questions are asked from this topic number system. Now when we start with this topic, that is factorial, you have seen this sign at number of places. This is not a sign of exclamation that you studied in English. This is known as factorial in mathematics. 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial, 6 factorial, 7 factorial. 0 factorial is always equal to 1. It's a standard value. 0 factorial is always equal to 1. 1 factorial is 1. When you say 2 factorial, it means 2 into 1. Answer is 2. When you say 3 factorial, 3 into 2 into 1, answer is equal to 6. 4 factorial means 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, your answer is 24. 5 factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, answer is 120. 6 factorial, 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, answer is 720. And similarly, when you have to find 7 factorial, 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, so we take this value as 5040. These are some standard factorial values that is expected from your side to remember. That what we can say, factorial simply means, suppose if you have n factorial, it means 1 into 2 into 3, that goes up to multiplication of n minus 1 into n. This is known as factorial, right? Now, important point here is what type of questions are asked in this factorial, or what type of concepts that can be formed from this topic. Before going on the questions, first we try to understand what type of question may be asked. For example, if I say one number is given as 7 factorial, we write it as 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. When we make the prime factorization of the number, we say it as 7 into 6 would be taken as 2 into 3, 4 would be taken as 2 square, 3 into 2. Here I can say 2 raised to power 4, 3 raised to power 2, 5 raised to power 1 into 7 raised to power 1. This is known as 7 factorial, right? Now, number of questions can be asked on this. For example, if I ask, what is the maximum power of 2 that divides 7 factorial exactly? That divides 7 factorial exactly. Or I can say, what is the maximum power of 2 in 7 factorial? Now I can say that this 7 factorial is equal to 2 raised to power 4 into 3 square into 5 raised to power 1 into 7. So here I can say, if I have to find the maximum power of 2, the answer is equal to 4. Because it is clear from here, in this question we have 2 raised to power 4. So I can say maximum power of 2 is 4. Similarly, if I have to find what is the maximum power of 3, my answer is 2. If I ask what is the maximum power of 6, what is maximum power of 6 that divides this 7 factorial exactly? Now when I say 6 means 2 into 3. For taking 1 power of 6, I need 1 2 and 1 3. How many 2 I have? 4. How many 3 I have? 2. It means if I have to make 6, how many 6s I can make? 2 6s can be made because I have 2 3s. It means when I have to find the power of 6, I say it as 2 into 3. So I can say only 2 6s can be made. So it's just an introduction to the type of question that may be asked while solving this topic. Now we try to understand the format, how to answer these questions easily, because this is small number 7 factorial. We can answer it by calculating, but there may be a question in place of 7 factorial you have 100 factorial, 200 factorial. In those type of questions, what approach should be made by you in order to answer it? Suppose one number is there as 100 factorial and I have to find the maximum power of 2. I have to find the maximum power of 2 in 100 factorial. Now the method that we are going to understand, this method can be used in finding maximum power in n factorial of a prime number. The first point is that we can use this method when we have to find the maximum power of a prime number. Suppose you have 100 factorial and we have to find the power of 2. We know that 2 is a prime number, it means we can easily find the power of 2. Now what is the process to find the power and what is the process if we have to find the maximum power of a prime number? The process is very simple. First divide this number by 2 and find the quotient. Your quotient would be 50. If this is in the decimal, also take only the integral part. Means we will take the integral part of this, we get it as 50. Now divide this quotient by 2 again, you get it as 25. Again this 25 by 2, you get it as 12.5 or the integral part is 12. And we try to divide it until we get it to be 1 or 0. After that 12 by 2, you get it as 6. 6 by 2, you get it as 3. 3 by 2, you get it as 1. And 1 by 2, you get it as 0.5, that would be 0. Right? What is the process? Whatever the number is given, first you divide the number by the required prime number, whose power you have to find. You divide 100 by 2, you get 50. Then 50 by 2, you get 25. 25 by 2, you get 12.5, integral part is 12. Then 12 by 2, you get 6. It means we have taken this. Now add all this, that becomes your answer. That is the maximum power of 2 in 100 factorial. 50 plus 25, 75, plus 12, 87, plus 6, 93, plus 4, 97. So I can say maximum power of 2 in 100 factorial is 97. I think got the idea? What is the process? First, this method can be used when you have to find the power of a prime number. Divide 100 by 2, 50. Then 50 by 2, 25. 25 by 2, 12. Take the integral part. 12 by 2, 6. 6 by 2, 3. 3 by 2, 1. Add all this, you get it as 97. So we can say 100 factorial will have 97 powers. Suppose I have to find the maximum powers of 3 in 100 factorial. The question is, we have to find the maximum power of 3 in 100 factorial. So now we try to answer it easily. First I divide 100 by 3. I get it as 33. Then 33 by 3, I get it as 11. 11 by 3, I get it as 3 point something, make it as 3. Then 3 by 3, you get it as 1. Further it cannot be divided. Add all these numbers. 33 plus 11 plus 3 plus 1. And when you add, you get your answer to be 48. So I can say in 100 factorial, maximum power of 3 that divide 100 factorial exactly is 48. Pay attention here again what I have done. In 100 factorial, I have to find the maximum power of 3. What I will do? 100 by 3, 33. Although I get 33.33, but I have to only take the integral section, that would be only 33. Then again I divide this 33 by 3, I get it as 11. Then again I get 11 by 3, I get it as 3. 3 by 3, I get it as 1. Now if I divide 1 by 3, I get it as 0. It nowhere means. Now add all this, you get it as 48. That becomes your answer. Similarly, you have to find the maximum power of 5 in 100 factorial. How you will go for this? 100 by 5, this gives you 20. Then 20 by 5, this gives you 4. 4 by 5 gives you 0. Add these two numbers 20 and 4, your answer is 24. So you can say that in 100 factorial, maximum power of 5 is equal to 24. I think after understanding this, you are in a position to get your answer. We may take one more example. Suppose your number is 150 factorial and I have to find out what is the maximum power of 7 that divides 150 factorial. So what process says divide 150 by 7? It will go on 21, then divide 21 by 7, you get it as 3. Add 21 plus 3, your answer is equal to 24, that becomes your answer. I hope this point is clear, right? That's the first point with which we are in a position to get all the powers of a prime number in any factorial. After this, we will try to understand how to find trailing zeros. There is a concept that we use in this. That concept is known as trailing zeros. The question is how to find trailing zeros in n factorial. Means any number is given, you have to find out total trailing zeros in n factorial. First we have to understand what we mean by this trailing zeros. Suppose you say 5 factorial equal to 120, 6 factorial is 720. This 0 is number of trailing zeros. In 5 factorial my trailing zeros is 1, in 6 factorial my trailing zeros is 1. Right? Now first of all, there is a need to understand how we get the trailing zeros. Suppose if I say 4 factorial, answer is 24, 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. No trailing zeros is there. But when I say 5 factorial, it is 120, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. One trailing zero is there. So what do you mean by this trailing zero? How it comes? For trailing zero in any number, it can be there when you multiply 5 with an even number. When you multiply 5 with an even number. It means when a 5 is multiplied by 2, you get the trailing zeros. And what we can say, in any n factorial, number of powers of 5 is always less than number of powers of 2. Number of powers of 2. The bigger the prime number, smaller will be the maximum powers. The bigger the prime number, smaller will be the maximum powers. So I can say in 5 factorial, maximum power of 5 would always be smaller than maximum power of 2. And I know that for making 1 0, I need 1 5 and 1 2. It means in any n factorial, if you have to find out total number of trailing zeros, it means you are just supposed to find out the powers of 5. Suppose in 100 factorial, question is how many trailing zeros are there. So we try to find out in 100 factorial what is the maximum power of 5. So what I will do, 100 by 5 20, 20 by 5 4. So I can say in 100 factorial, number of trailing zeros are said to be 24. I hope the idea is clear. It means in any statement where your number is n factorial, and in that if you have to find the trailing zeros, the answer is very simple. Find maximum powers of 5. Maximum power of 5 that divides n factorial exactly. That is the concept by which you are in a position to find the number of trailing zeros. After this, we try to understand how to find the powers of a composite number. How to find the powers of a composite number. Till time we have done two concepts. The first concept that we have done, that concept deals with how to find the powers of a prime number. Then we have done how to find trailing zeros. Now after this, we are going to understand how to find the powers of a composite number. Suppose one number is given as 100 factorial and I have to find what is the maximum power of, we start one by one, 12, that divides 100 factorial exactly. The question is, a number is given as 100 factorial and we are supposed to find out What is the maximum power of 12 that divides 100 factorial exactly? First step, 12 is a composite number. It means the method that we have applied earlier, that cannot be applied directly. First step that we do, we just make a prime factorization 2 square into 3. We make a prime factorization of this, that is 2 square into 3. Now we find the maximum power of 2 in 100 factorial. That earlier we have found, that is 97. After this we find maximum power of 3 in 100 factorial, that we have found, that is 48. These two questions I discussed earlier. The maximum power of 2 in 100 factorial is 97. Maximum power of 3 is 48. Now in my question I need maximum power of 2 square. It means you have 2 raised to power 97 in 100 factorial, but I need for 2 squares. For 2 squares it would be 48 and 1 2 would be left. For 2 square my maximum power would be 48 and 1 2 will be left. Similarly for 3 you have 3 raised to power 48. It means I have 3 raised to power 48, means 48 powers of 3. Now the question is, I have to find the maximum power of 12. It means I need powers of 2 square as well as of 3. Now here powers of 2 square is 48 as well as powers of 3 is 48. If this is equal, it means maximum power of 12 that divide 100 factorial is equal to 48. Suppose in this question, this in place of 3 raised to power 48, it is 3 raised to power 47. It means out of these which one is smaller, that becomes your answer. So in that case my answer would be 47, but here by chance both are same, it means your answer is said to be 48. For a similar statement, the whole question is same, only one thing is changed. He is asking that what is the maximum power of 24 in 100 factorial. The question is, we have to find the maximum power of 24 in 100 factorial. Now if I have to answer this question, so first I make a prime factorization of 24, that is 2 cube into 3. Now what is the maximum power of 2 is 97, 3 is 48. I know that you have 2 raised to power 97 into 3 raised to power 48. But here I need to find 2 cube, so I will make it as 2 raised to power 3. It will go on 32. 1 2 raised to power 1 is left and 3 raised to power 48. Now for finding the powers of 24, I need one pair of 2 cube and one pair of 3. Number of pairs of 2 cubes are 32 and number of pairs of 3 are 48. It means out of these two which one is least? 32. So I can say maximum power of 24 that divides 100 factorial is equal to 32. That becomes your answer. I hope the concept is clear. Now in any statement, whenever you have to find out the powers of a composite number, by applying this process you are in a position to find your answer. You are just expected to make the prime factorization of the number. Once you make a prime factorization, now then solve this step by step, and at the end with the following pairs just take whose power is the minimum, and that will become your answer. Right? So this is a concept which is based on the factorial. Now I am going to discuss some of the standard questions as well as some of the standard points. For example, take the first statement. Find total number of trailing zeros. Total number of trailing zeros in product of first 100 multiples of 10. The question is, we have to find out total number of trailing zeros in the product of first 100 multiples of 10. Now first we start to understand what does it mean. First 100 multiples of 10 means first multiple is 10, second one is 20, then it is 30, and it goes up to 990 into 1000. This is the product of first 100 multiples of 10. Now I have to count the trailing zeros in this. So when I say 10, 10 means 10 into 1, 20 means 10 into 2, 30 means 10 into 3, 1000 means 100 into 10. Right? Now 1000 means 10 into 100. Make it as 10 into 100. Now what I can say? 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 into 10 for 100 times. That gives me 10 raised to power 100 into. This will give me 10 raised to power 100 into 100 factorial. Right? Now in 10 raised to power 100, how many trailing zeros are there? 100. And in 100 factorial, how many trailing zeros are there? 24. So I can say my total trailing zeros in this question would be 124. Pay attention again what I have done. It is given that in the first 100 multiples of 10, we have to find out total number of trailing zeros. So what I can say, 10 into 20 into 30 up to 1000. Now I will make the pairs. I can say 10 into 10 into 10 for 100 times. It gives me 10 raised to power 100. Then I have 1 into 2 into 3 up to 100. This is 100 factorial. How many zeros I will get from this 100? And how many zeros I will get in 100 factorial is 24. That earlier I have stated you. In any factorial, just find the powers of 5. That would be 24. And because these are multiplied, in that case we can say our total zeros are 124. It's my answer. I hope this is clear. The same question can be made with some more points. When I say instead of 10 it is 5. Question is find the total number of trailing zeros in the product of first 100 multiples of 5. Now I just change the question. What this talks about? Question is we have to find out how many trailing zeros are there in the first 100 multiples of 5. Now if I go step by step, my first is 5, 10, 15, it goes up to 500. If I start with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that goes up to 500. I make it pairs 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 100. How many times this 5 is multiplied? For 100 times it means this gives me 5 raised to power 100. And then 1, 2, 3 up to 100, that gives me 100 factorial. Right? Now in this question, I cannot directly make it. For answering this, I have 5 raised to power 100 into. I know in 100 factorial 2 raised to power 97 is there, means 2 has 97 powers, as well as 5 has 24 powers. That we have told earlier. What I am stating you, 5 into 5 into 5 for 100 times, that gives me 5 raised to power 100. Then 1 into 2 into 3 up to 100, that gives me 100 factorial. So what I can say, this gives me 5 raised to power 100 and this 100 factorial. I know that in 100 factorial, what is the maximum power of 2? 97. And in 100 factorial, what is the maximum power of 5 is 24. Why I am taking 2 and 5? Because I have stated you, for in any question for trailing zeros, we will find the powers of 2 and 5. Now, what is the total powers of 5? 124. What is the total powers of 2? 97. It means out of these two, which one is smaller? Because for making 1 0, I need 1 2 and 1 5. I have 124 5s and 97 2s. It means my total number of trailing zeros are equal to 97. That becomes my answer. Our total number of trailing zeros are 97. It is your answer. Similarly, one more statement is there. The question is, find the remainder when factorial plus 3 factorial up to 50 factorial is divided by 20. Question is, find the remainder when 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial up to 50 factorial addition of this number is divided by 20. Now when I try to understand 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is 24, 5 factorial is 120. It means starting from 5 factorial, every number will be exactly divisible by 20. Because 5 factorial is 120, 6 factorial will be 720, 7 factorial would be 5040, means starting from 5 factorial, every number will be exactly divisible by 20. It means in all these numbers I get my remainder to be 0. But starting from this 120, starting from 5 factorial to 50 factorial, in all the numbers I get my remainder to be 0. It means it does not affect my answer. So I have to just find out when this addition is divided by 20, what will be the remainder? 30 plus 2, 32 or 133. When this 33 is divided by 20, I can say the remainder is equal to 13. That becomes my answer. I hope the concept is clear. It means if you have any question based on this type, just apply this process and you are in a position to get your answer. This is about the factorial concept. Listen this it again and try to solve some questions so that you are in a position to get the whole concept. Thank you very much.